Dave back at Colwell. We're back for part 2. Thank you for bearing with my technical issues.
That's fine. No worries.
Yeah. So I want to sort of pick up again on the Bad Company era, and sort of I remember that I've seen you on different videos, and sometimes you're the solo guitar player, and sometimes you got Mick Ralphs with you. So, what was that period of time like for you?
Okay, I mean, when I joined the band in 1990 for the Holy Water tour, Mick couldn't actually go on that tour, so they had Jeff Whitehorn was playing guitar with them, and then they got me in for the second guitarist. After a year of that tour, which went on and on, Mick came back, so Jeff left, so I played the next 5 or 6 years with Mick, really, right through Here Comes Trouble, a live album we did, and then 2 albums with Robert Hart, Company of Strangers and Stories Told.
Right.
And then after a brief period of break, I played with Humble Pie in 2000, did a record with them, Back on Track and a tour. Right. And then I went back to Bad Company with Paul Rogers, where I was the only guitar player. So that's what you, I think. It was the Merchants of Cool DVD.
Yeah, exactly. Sounded wonderful. Sounded absolutely wonderful, got to say. And,
playing, one guitar part, because Mick, when he was in the band, did have a bit of a penchant for just buggering off. You get a phone call in the room and it's like, Mick's gone. What do you mean he's gone? He's gone home. And Simon would just like go, well, you can do it back, can't you? I said, yeah, I guess so.
It's a different mindset, isn't it? Being a single guitar player and having 2. It's a real.
Also, when we were on the Holy Water tour and this happened, and there was a lot of layered guitars on those records. So Mick had his effects on his backline, as it were, and I had mine, and we actually were just about starting a tour with Bon Jovi, and Mick left. So we kept Mick's tech on to program his presets and put my wireless through Mick's rig as well.
Right.
And so I was going through 16 cabinets and probably 8 heads.
Wow. Wow. And what sort of on-stage volume were you on? Was it loud? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when I went down to try this rig out before the first show, and I saw Richie Sambora's rig, and I went, wow, it looked like a skyscraper. And my tech and his tech burst out laughing. They said, well, he's only going through 1 cabinet, and you're going through 16. Brilliant.
And what was Richie's sound like, just going through the 1 cabinet?
Yeah, he got it down. I mean, I did have a look at his guitar rack, and we had exactly the same guitars, really. Might be a bit nicer, but good player, lovely guy.
Yeah, he's a very sweet player, actually, isn't he? Very sweet player. Yeah, fantastic. So, talking about gear, and we're I think we align on the head and the stack sort of thing being our staple. Have you ever been drawn into the Axe Effects Kemper routine at all? You ever tried?
No, not really. I'm old school. I like a head and a cabinet. Yeah. And, I'm a pretty firm believer it's in your hands. That's how you get a tone. I mean, Mick Ralphs could plug into a refrigerator and he'd sound like Mick Ralphs.
Right. I think I saw an interview with Nuno Bettencourt, and he said that they were touring with Van Halen, and either Eddie went through Nuno's stuff or the other way round. But he said, it's amazing. It really is in the hands. It doesn't matter whose rig you're using. It's all about these things. So I mean, but do you find that you can, when you're touring about, if you're not taking your gear, can you get a decent sound out of any higher heads? I mean, I know you're affiliated with Blackstar, so do you?
I try to get Blackstar wherever I can. Didn't it was a bit of a saga trying to get it in New Zealand, but I managed it in the end.
Right.
I do have my little backup, which is a Blue amp, which is a tiny little thing that goes in your hand luggage, and it's a 100-watt valve amp. It's got a nano valve in it.
Wow! And
you can just put that through a 4x12, and you're set. You know.
Oh, fantastic! And you put your effects in, before it, and away you go. Is there a send and return in there as well, maybe?
Yes, there's a send and return that goes to my pedal board. I just use a couple of those more pedals,
right.
A bit of delay and a bit of chorus and a tuner, really.
Right, lovely. Everything's getting. It's funny, isn't it? There are some things that stay big, and there are some things that sort of are getting reduced down to. I think there's another company that have just started doing that amp in a box thing as well. I think it's quite a new thing, isn't it? Yeah. So tell us more about your links with Blackstar and Vintage. I know you're sort of you're their guy, aren't you?
Well, Blackstar, 5 guys from Marshall decided to make that company, and I was very dear friends with 2 of them. Right. And they said, would I help voice out some early amps and stuff like that, and I've been with them ever since. I mean, I used the Series 1. Right. I tend to stick with the older Series 1 that have got one line of knobs, right. The one with all the singing, dancing knobs. They drive me crazy, you know. And they're for the metal players anyway. I mean, this has got, a bright channel, crunch channel and a super crunch, right. Right. That's me, really. I mean, with the guitar company Vintage, I met them at a trade fair in Frankfurt. Right. And I was Jeff Whitehorn, actually, and they knew that I'm a Gibson man. I mean, this is my current go-to #1 guitar. This is a Mike McCready custom shop Les Paul.
Beautiful.
He's 59. This is actually a 2002 guitar. Right. It's absolutely beautiful. Right. But I tried out a Vintage Telecaster, V52, I think it's called, and it was just great. So I got very involved with the company. I used some of their Les Pauls, and I have a signature guitar with their high-end guitars, which is Fret King. Right. I have a DBC1, which is modelled on a Les Paul Junior sort of thing,
Oh, fantastic.
I do have here my newest acquisition, actually, which is Vintage just made this for me. Let's see. Let's tilt this down a bit. See if you can see that.
Oh yeah, that's lovely.
That is lovely.
That looks nice. And is that looks distressed a little bit? That's been road worn?
They do distress my ones for me in the custom shop there. They've gone a bit over the top with just stabbing a screwdriver in it, I think. But it's a lovely guitar. I do like the distressed guitars, you know.
You know what? I think there's something when you get a brand new guitar, I always feel a little bit kind of, because you're waiting for the first dink.
Exactly that, yeah. It's like a car.
Yeah, and then once you got the first dink, then you can get on with it and you can enjoy it because it's dinked and it's. But that looks fantastic. And how does that compare? If the blindfold test. If you were to take that Mike McCready guitar and that Vintage, what would you notice that was different about them? Big different necks.
No, it's that's a 58, so it's got a 59, so it's got a 59 contour neck. Right. This one is modelled on my 86 Les Paul Custom.
Oh, yeah.
It's got a kind of a neck like that. I do, the Custom's got an ebony fingerboard, which I love, but you can't make new guitars with ebony fingerboards. No. But they're made I don't know what they do. They compact some sort of paper in and they dye it and all that. But it's a lovely neck. It plays great.
Yeah.
The pickups are great. All the pickups on vintage guitars and Fret King are made by Trevor Wilkinson, who knows it.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. So
when he made my the DBC guitar, he said, do you want it to sound like a 1956 pickup, or because it's a P90, or do you want it to sound like now? Obviously, the magnets would fade.
Right.
I said go for the middle, so you got the good best of both worlds. Where you got woolly and you got the bite as well.
Yeah, wonderful. So, tell us a little bit about your pedal board. So you've said that you've got some more pedals on there. If you turn up to because you're using your Blackstar amps and your channel changing, using the different channels on there. Yeah. So if you turned up and you just had a one channel amp, does your pedal board accommodate for that? Have you got?
It doesn't.
Right.
It's pretty unusual that happens, but. For a backup, I have an Ibanez tube screamer.
Right.
Which, if you put through the effects loop, you can get a considerable boost of gain.
Right.
If you take the front of the amp, you can't for some reason, but that works.
Right. Oh, brilliant. So tell me, Dave. I mean, we covered quite a lot in the first interview and what you're doing now. So tell us what's on the cards now for you, and what you're going to be doing in the next sort of 6 months to a year.
Okay, well, in 3 weeks' time, I'm doing 6 shows in England. I don't get to play a lot in England, really, so I just wanted to get my profile up and play with some friends over here. So I'm bringing Jimmy Coons, is the current singer of Humble Pie, coming in from New York. I've got Clive Edwards, UFO and Wild Horses drummer.
Right.
The voice from the Choir Boys, and bass, and a keyboard player, Ronnie Klassman, who is coming in from Denmark. He played with my band Bucket's Rebel Heart at Sweden Rock last year. Really good keyboard player. So we're doing 6 gigs in London. We've got a great opening band, Collateral. They're sort of making noise at the moment. And then we're currently booking shows for Humble Pie, so I'll be off to America at the end of August.
Right.
Our rehearsals, we've got shows in September through November.
Lovely.
Next, hopefully we're doing it's a 50th anniversary tour of Humble Pie in America. We're planning.
Wow. So that will be considerably sort of bigger venues, will it? More dates.
Yeah. I mean, this year we're sort of doing some smaller theatres and a couple of clubs that we started doing last year and went very well. But next year we're looking for a package tour as well.
Yeah, lovely. Yeah, fantastic. So, I mean, lots to look forward to, Dave. And I mean, I'm being a bit selfish now, but do you ever come out to Denmark?
Can't remember playing in Denmark, to be honest. We did the shows I'm doing in England. I bill as Bucket and Co.
Yeah,
that was like my album before the Rebel Heart album. And so we've done a couple of tours of Sweden and Norway, but never played Denmark as far as I can remember.
Okay. Well, I'll have to try and remedy that somehow. I'm going to be working on it. Yeah, there's actually a very good rock and roll venue in our town, Esbjerg. Holds about 1,000 or 2,000 depending on the levels and stuff, and I'm sure people would love to see Bucket's Rebel Heart or Bucket and Co. or the Humble Pie thing. So I'll see if I've got any contacts that can we'll talk about it offline maybe, but well, that Dave, I think it sounds incredible that you're thirsty and hungry and you've got the appetite still to go for it, and bless you. I love your style of playing. You were very kind to send me your latest album and been playing it non-stop virtually. So I'd just like to tell everybody to really support rock and roll. And as far as I'm concerned, you're sort of like you're our rock royalty, you know. So we got to keep you supported, and I hope we can come back together again at some point in the future, and you know.
That would be right. I mean,
Yeah.
the Rebel Heart album is available on Pride and Joy Music, their website.
Right.
We've also got a Buckets Rebel Heart YouTube channel, which has got
Right.
a shop on it, which you can buy it.
Right, brilliant.
Actually, in 3 weeks' time, you'll be able to buy Guitars, Beers and Tears as well. I've just had another run of made up, so you can
Right.
buy that from that site.
Oh, fantastic! Well, I hope everybody goes out and buys them, because they're great rock albums, you know, in the classic sense of the word. So Dave, thank you so much for your time again, and I wish you well, and I look forward to speaking with you again, and by hook or by crook, I'm going to get you and you guys out to Denmark somehow, or come out to UK and come and see you play. So I hope everybody keeps an eye on what you're doing. But for now, Dave, thank you so much, and
Thank you.
you take care of yourself, yeah?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Brilliant. Thanks very much, Dave. You take care.